Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. If you want to design and build a beautiful website, you can do it all in one place with Squarespace. It is a day and a half before I launch my store stuff. So I'm shooting these prints. Made sure that all of my prints were like standard frame sizes. Because my prints are a more affordable item than like an original, I wanted to make sure they fit into like an affordable frame. I made sure that they fit into frames like the IKEA frames. I would have used a frame that I already have, except Tonka smashed the frame that I had. He jumped on the shelf and it fell. And it was the last, it was like, IKEA doesn't make glass frames anymore. And I was really upset because it was a glass one. Vintage, baby, no. Come here. You sit on my lap, but you can't sit on the table, so you choose. Or do you want it like that, or like this? You peel like this. I'll tell you when I'm about to fall. Just please don't try too hard to see. You're probably in the video. Come here, my baby. I love these stickers. Yay! You all look so pretty, sweetie. I love it. I love it. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Trust me, I wish you would stay. Okay, so it is 11:56 p.m. on Tuesday. There is 4 minutes until my store launch. I'm currently editing a video that I'm sending off tomorrow. And I feel really bad because like I put the wrong time into my countdown on Instagram. I really wanted to launch it on 12 p.m. on Wednesday, aka 12 in the afternoon. But somehow I set it to 12 a.m. on Wednesday, which is basically really late Tuesday night. And 12 a.m. Tuesday is very inconvenient for almost everyone in the world because it's like, people are like, I need to wake up at 4 a.m. There's people in New York that need to get up at 8 a.m. LA, they need to get up at 5 a.m. I'm awake at 12. It's like really inconvenient. So I feel really bad because it was an accident, but I couldn't really change it because thousands of people were already saving the countdown when I realized. So now I'm like, well, here we are. I hope people are excited enough. I guess we'll have to see if anyone's waiting up. I know there are some people, so that's good. We're waiting up together. I'm so nervous. This is always nerve-wracking. I'll get back to you in a sec when it's launched.
5 minutes later.
It's been 5 minutes and all the shirts are out and there were hundreds of shirts. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I guess people were very excited about the shirt. I wonder if any of the Peach Toba originals have sold yet. I feel like nervous for some reason.
That's crazy.
I know. Oh my god. All of the Peach Toba originals except for one has sold out. What the hell? That's so crazy. All of the originals, which I thought weren't going to sell because some of them are more expensive, are sold out. Oh my god. It's been 5 minutes. This is crazy. All the t-shirts are sold out. What the hell? This is so weird. Is this did I make an accident and just cancel all the stock? I just need to check. I'll check my emails to see if there's actually that many orders. I need to text Chris.
When it's feeling right, it's like a million. Nothing in the way, like I flipped the switch, the light is really on. Cruising through the day. Ooh, it's so deep in the way I feel. Ooh, it's so love now I'm feeling here. Turn it off, turn it off, turn it on. It's all love, oh yeah, when it feels so right. It's all love to bring you to the light. It's all love, oh yeah, when it feels so right. It's real dead love, I feel that love win. I'm throwing shade at the bad vibes. I'm happy all the way. Hanging on a ray from the sunshine. It's where I wanna stay. Ooh, it's so deep in the way I feel. Ooh, it's so love now I'm feeling here. Turn it off, turn it off, turn it on. It's all love, oh yeah, when it feels so right. It's all love to bring you to the light. It's all love, oh yeah, when it feels so right. It's real dead love, I feel that love win. And it's real, how I feel. I can get it 'cause it's all love. And it's
Hello everyone, I thought I would end this video by wrapping some of my Xmas gifts and also answering some of your questions. I asked you guys if you had any questions on my Discord server. There's a link to that in the description if you want to join. But before I answer your questions, I would like to say a big thank you to Squarespace as per usual for sponsoring my video today, but also supporting the channel for the last few years. If you're looking to launch something in the new year or you want to have a really, really impressive portfolio, I recommend grabbing this free trial and using my discount code because it'll take a lot of weight off of your shoulders. I know that when I first started using it, I needed to figure out a way to sell like a body of work that I had produced for at a solo show. And it was so easy to do with Squarespace. Chris actually recommended it to me. I am so grateful that he did. Over the years, you've seen me use Squarespace to do store launches. I've shown you the back end. I've shown you how beautiful and easy it is to use. Surely all of you have tried Squarespace by now, but if not, you can go to squarespace.com/furrylittlepeach. You'll get a free trial and 10% discount on your first purchase. Okay, we're going to jump into these questions. Let me grab the questions. Question 1, how long does it take for you to get a product ready for your store from start to finish? This is a difficult question to answer because it really just depends on the product. Something like the shirts took a little bit longer, first of all, because the people that printed my shirts were really busy. So it took 3 weeks for them to get the blank tees, and then it took them not so long after that to actually print them, maybe a day or two. So it took like about a month. But then I just had them sitting in the studio because I needed to prepare other items, etc. I think I had the shirts done in September or something like that. Things like the jumbo stickers, that was like one of the last things I decided to do. The thing that took the longest with those was finding a supplier that would print such large vinyl stickers and such intricate vinyl stickers, because a lot of people didn't even want to touch the project because they just thought it wouldn't work. Or they couldn't print at a bigger size as I wanted. So they could print maybe like whatever the width of A5 was, which is about, I think it's like 148 millimeters, which is fine. I would have been fine with it in the end if I absolutely couldn't find anyone, but eventually we found someone that would print 210 millimeters. So I was like, yes, this is amazing. They're so jumbo. We actually still have some of those in the store as well if you guys want to grab some. But yeah, this question's too hard to answer because it really just depends, including design and stuff like that. Sometimes I'm feeling it, sometimes I'm not. A lot of the items that I launched this time came pretty quickly, which I'm really happy about, but sometimes they don't. Like things like zines, like putting stuff together that requires layout design, I find really difficult. I mean, I'm not naturally great at it, so it takes me a long time to be happy with what I've created. But sometimes it takes a week, sometimes it takes a month, sometimes it takes a few months. It really just depends on what we're making, the suppliers, the manufacturers,
and how long it takes me to design. It really just depends. I'm sorry, this is so not helpful. What kind of drawing program do you use for digital work? How did you first get started as an independent artist, and do you have any projects you are currently working on? So for digital work, initially when I started, I actually was a digital designer. I was designing apps and websites for an agency here in Sydney. I would use Photoshop and Illustrator the most. Now that I'm a freelance illustrator, and because technology has changed, I actually do use Photoshop less, but still I use Photoshop more for like manipulating photos and adding stuff to photos than I do illustration. If I need to do something large like a billboard, I think I would use Photoshop on my desktop with a Wacom tablet. If I need to make vector work, I'll use Adobe Illustrator, especially when it comes to cut lines and stuff like that. If I'm creating an illustration that needs to be vector but doesn't necessarily need like clean lines, I'll use Adobe Fresco, which has like vector brushes, which I find really natural because it's like a medium between Illustrator and Procreate, which I really like. Also, the watercolor live brushes are insane there. And then for like just casual illustrating, sketching, doing line work that I want to then trace onto watercolor paper, I will use Procreate because I think it's really user friendly. But yeah, it just really depends on what I'm doing, because I find that I'm not really loyal to brushes or like sketchbooks or types of programs. I'm more just use each one for the intended purpose. So the way that I decide which app to use is just dependent on what I'm making, if that makes sense. If you were to wear the same outfit every day like a cartoon character, what would it be? Something loose so that I could eat a lot if I wanted to and not feel like I'm going to bust out of the seams. Maybe like that gingham dress that I have. If I had to wear it for the rest of my life, it would have to be comfortable. But then what if I needed to go to dinner? I think, yeah, maybe my big gingham dress is like a nice medium between casual and something that I can wear out, you know? But who knows? My style changes all the time. All the jumpsuits are really cool as well because they can be dressed up with like earrings and heels. What do you think, guys? What outfits have I worn that you think should be my cartoon character costume? This is interesting. Something you hate with a burning passion about your practice, the stigma, the juicy goss, bit dramatic, but I'm definitely interested in what you dislike about art or new age digital art, social media, etc., etc. Something that transcends the boring admin work that goes on behind the scenes. For me, I think it's just the like gatekeeping, or I don't know, the BS about it, like the way that you need to think about how you portray yourself. I don't worry about how I portray myself to like a wider audience. There are a lot of people that do what I do or that are in like the creative industry that like my work and respect what I do. But I have this idea in my head that because I make so much content for my audience, to old world creatives, people that don't want to accept that social media is a part of the creative industry now, or they think it cheapens your practice or whatever, that really annoys me, that putting effort into connecting with your audience is seen as a negative in like the fine art world or in the serious art world. And I think it's a bit silly. Like, I just think it's why? I don't get it. Maybe they think that if you're fully immersed in your practice, you won't have time for connecting with people on social. But for me, like, connecting with you guys has always been a part of my practice, always been a part of my process since I was a teen, sharing my work on Tumblr, to when I moved to Instagram, to when I first got my first commercial jobs, till when I did my first billboard, to when I designed this. I want to take you guys on that journey. And I also love being able to go back and watch these home videos of my studio work and my business. I have friends that are fine artists and that are signed to galleries that have been told not to share BTS stuff on Instagram and stuff. I guess because it kind of may devalue works when they're selling them to collect. Would I say yes if a collector wanted to buy my work? Sure, but I'm not going out of my way to schmooze with curators or, you know, try to get signed to a gallery, because it's just not where my focus is. It's not what I would find fun. I'm really having fun with my work, and I just wish that if there is judgment, that changes soon. I think the way you present your work is just as important as the work itself. A very small percentage of people are actually able to come to my shows because they need to be, first of all, in Sydney when the show is on, be able to get there. And also during COVID times, they're actually not able to attend these events anyway. So it's like preparing my work for social media and online is really, really important to me, and I love doing it. I see social media as an extension of my practice, whereas I think that some people see it as something that's a waste of time or, you know, just like an extra thing that they plop on the end because they think that they have to. But I see it as like a whole nother world that your audience can explore. I want you guys to feel the same way scrolling through my Instagram or watching my vlogs as you do when you look at my work. I think that's the best way I can explain it. I don't often feel insecure about it, but sometimes I do, you know? So I wish that I never did. What are your favorite brushes / effects to use on Procreate? Any brushes to recommend? Oh, my iPad's not charged, but there's this brush called Evolve, which is kind of like a really like hard, crunchy inky brush. It's the one that I use to write the titles in this video. And then there's another brush that I use, which is like a noise brush. I think it's called Noise. Do you plan on getting more pets? Shocked face or intrigued face? Not anytime soon. I just love enjoying Tonks and like the challenges that come with a kitten and snuggling with him. I think in the future I will get a dog one day because I've always wanted a dog. Even with a kitten, it's a bit of work, but having a dog, you'd have to like wake up and walk it multiple times a day. Like I'm lucky, like I can play with Tonks in the house. I don't actually have to leave at like 6 a.m. in the morning to make sure they don't pee inside. Like he can go pee in his kitty litter. It's really, really nice. But yeah, I'm really happy with Tonks now. And I can't believe I only get to have him for probably another 20 years maximum. So sad. What's your favorite art exercise to warm up / get out of a creative block, i.e. limited color palette, one line drawing, etc.? I don't usually, when I have creative block, I don't usually use drawing exercises to get out of it. What I do is I take a break, because when I have creative block, it's because I've been working too much, and it's because I need like breathing space and to absorb inspiration. I don't necessarily agree that being stumped on what to draw is the same as creative block, but when I'm like that, one thing that I love is drawing prompts. And if that's in October, fantastic, but if it's any other time of year, I'll ask you guys on Instagram for things to draw, and it really gets my creative juices a-flowing. How do you handle disposal of waste when painting, like the paint water with pigments in it and washing brushes with heavy buildup? I'm glad you asked this question because I have never really thought about it before, which is bad. Like, why have I never thought about it before? I think because watercolors are water soluble, I just assumed that it was fine. Like sometimes I pour my paint water into my plant and sometimes I just pour it down the sink. I don't really think about it. Often the paint water is not so filled with pigment, and if I'm cleaning palettes, I'll wipe them out first with a paper towel and throw it away rather than rinsing it down the sink. But that's only been because I don't want the sink to get dirty or my clothes. You know, when it blasts into a spoon, it sprays all over you. That's what happens when I clean a palette. So I always try and get as much paint out as possible. I don't know. I just assumed that watercolor wasn't as harmful, especially the watercolors I use, I assumed had more natural ingredients. But yeah, I will do some research. Thank you for asking that question, because I want to look into it and be like, am I doing something really bad? Like my plants haven't died. Is that a good sign? I'm not really interested in how to clean like acrylic or oils because it's just not relevant to me. But if you use watercolors, I would love to know what you do. I didn't even think about it. I feel so dumb for not even thinking about it. What's the thing you love most about your studio? Hope you had some lovely holidays. I hope you guys did too. The thing I love most about my studio is probably this amount of space I have. Okay, wait. If we're talking about, furniture wise, I love my big desk that Rocket built me. If you guys haven't seen the video of him building me my beautiful, amazing, perfect custom desk, I'll put a little card thingy in the top right corner. But anyway, if you're not talking about furniture, probably the amount of space that I have. So yeah, or my fern. I love my fern. So forgiving. Just lives through anything that I throw at it, you know? Have you ever had imposter syndrome? If so, do you still get it, and how do you overcome it? I have it every once in a while. I always have it when I'm at book festivals or literature festivals, when I'm doing talks as an author. I find it really like anxiety inducing. And I know that I'm a published author, but I don't feel like I know anything about being an author. I feel like writing's really difficult for me. I don't know if I'm a good writer or not. And I also just feel like really scared because I want kids to have a good time, but I just put so much pressure on myself. So I think that I always have imposter syndrome when I am doing like talks and trying to verbalize my knowledge and verbalize my career to like people that aren't my age, people that I can't talk candidly to. When it comes to like talking to kids, you really have to like put on a show, you know. I want to be like the presenters they see on TV so that they're engaged, but I also have to like break things down in different ways and think about it in a way that I wouldn't usually think about it. So I definitely do feel that. How do I overcome it? I just try and get through it, and then at the end I'm like so relieved. I haven't really dealt with that yet, like how to overcome it. It just happens all the time. I think I try and tell myself that even if I don't feel like my career is necessarily very common, because I feel like a lot of the authors that I meet aren't doing social media stuff, aren't sharing their entire practice online, aren't solely illustrators. Like I don't meet a lot of sole illustrators at these book festivals, so I don't have things to base it on. I don't know if I'm doing it right, and I think that's what trips me out. But I think something that helps me a little is just trying to carve my own path and not trying to emulate what other people are doing and how other people are presenting. Okay, those are all my questions. I hope you guys liked them. Thank you so, so much for all of your support this year. And I'm not just talking about with the store launches and, you know, supporting the projects that I do. I also mean just watching my videos and connecting with me. You know, I always get sappy at the end of the year. I don't know why. I just feel like crying right now, but I just really like... Okay, wait, pause. I feel so thankful that I have you guys to like bounce ideas off of. I feel so grateful to be working on stuff and launch it, whether it be a video or like the store launches or even just posting stuff on Instagram, and for it to be embraced by like a community of people. It's really, really nice. And I think that I wouldn't be where I am as a creative and how happy I am with my work if it wasn't for you guys. I don't know. There's a lot of artists that like do go to the studio, put their head down, then release their stuff. But I just really like sharing my journey with you guys. It feels so nice to be proud of something and have it embraced by you guys as well. So thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who bought stuff from my store, this store launch. I am actually hoping to do lots of store launches next year and do lots of interesting products and just kind of expand the universe that my work lives within with that stuff. And I hope you guys had a good holidays. I hope you guys have a great New Year's. This is my last video for this year, obviously, because it's almost the end of the year now. And I hope you guys find the joy that you guys have given me. I'm gonna go because I don't know why I'm so emotional. But anyway, Happy New Year. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for watching.